We're true. A tech-driven...
Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee Romulo Reversado and second referee James Oliver Mora. Let's now meet the starters from the Philippine Coast Guard Dolphins. Let's start off with the team captain, jersey number 10, Alfrazin Abdulwahab. At number 2, Rudy Gatdula. Number 3, Edimar Kasim. Jersey number 5, Larry John Francisco. Number 6, Jemmy Entig. And number 12, Ismail Kasim. With head coach, Seaman Second Class, Salih Hassan Galib. And libero is number 15, Abraham Retamar. Let's now meet the starting 6 from the San Sebastian College Stags. Let's start off with jersey number 3, Julius James Lana. At number 4, Reynald David Honra. Number 9, John Mark Lim. Number 14, Aldre Mori Ferrer. Number 15, Dominic Ramirez. And number 16 is Robbie Pamitan. Liberos are number 2, Jerome Andrade, and number 20, Marvin John Bihag. With head coach, Mr. Norby Labuga. This is match number 59, preliminaries from Pool C. Good luck to both teams.
Just in time to get going, we take a look at the starting lineup of Coast Guard.
Philippine Coast Guard, they have Abdul Wahab, Ismail Kasim, Rudy Gatdula, Intig, and then Francisco, and another Kasim, which is Edimar, and their starting libero will be Retamar.
As we flip the chart and see the starting lineup for the Golden Stags.
Now for San Sebastian, the starting lineup will be John Mark Lim Ramirez. They have Pamitan, Ferrer, Honra, and Lana. For their libero, it is Andrade.
And let's see who goes home with a win here today. You definitely want to go home with a smile rather than go home from this place. Bigat ng feeling pagka talo no ha? Hindi maganda yung takbo ng tournament, but they would, para ka nanalo ng championship pagka nanalo ka dito today, Mosh.
And also, ang dami nilang pinagdaanan here in this conference, going up against stronger teams, club teams, and then school-based teams against, UAAP and CAA. So ending this conference with a win will be a big booster for them.
It's going to be the Coast Guard up against San Sebastian. And our first serve is all set to be unfurled, and we are underway. And immediately we're scampering. It's a free ball. Here comes the setup job. The first attack. Oh, on target. And Ramirez unable to handle it.
Edimar Kasim with that cross-court attack immediately for the first point for Philippine Coast Guard. Look at that one again. 2 blockers from San Sebastian, but just disregarding them.
And our score right now, first one on the board, 1-0. The quick, easily handled. Lana unable to make a clean connection, but that's a cleaner one.
One more time for Edimar Kasim with the same target, same execution, and same point for Philippine Coast Guard.
Well, as long as they haven't stopped it yet, we'll still go to that particular play. San Sebastian already thinking of an alternative play here. They're making the signal already. I can see Ferrer, but nothing happening there, and they now lead by 3. The Coast Guard in safe waters.
Coast Guard with the service ace, and now for San Sebastian having some troubles in getting that reception.
Abdul Wahab with the serve, 3rd time, and here's a dink. Abdul Wahab gets to it. Here's the strike, and it's rejected. Well done that time by Julius Lana.
This time, San Sebastian wouldn't allow Edimar Kasim to let that ball through.
Kuminsan na emotional, you start badly. What's wrong? Well, we're not receiving well. Then you settle down, get your first point, hopefully getting the momentum going.
Just one stop. Kapag sunod-sunod yung errors or sunod-sunod yung points ng kalaban, you just need to stop and then renew whatever you're thinking to get that point.
Good point. In the meantime, a ball handling mistake, a violation, double touch called against the Coast Guard. We now have it at 2 against 3. the serve in play. Borderline yun. Canyon! Boom!
Now, Rudy Gatdula, same position, open attack and cross-court dito sa San Sebastian. But still, the floor defense of San Sebastian hindi pa rin ready sa mga palo nitong Philippine Coast Guard.
Lakas pumalo Cargado. And the good counter on the quick that time. And Julius Lana, the men's game, no? Nothing against the women's game, but just a little quicker and ang bilis mamatay ng bola.
Definitely, because Sir Sev, yung palo nitong mga lalaki, diretso agad sa floor kung hindi man na-receive ng kalaban nila on the floor defense. So most of the time, powerful and loaded yung attacks.
Ano mas masipag yung babae sa floor defense?
Yes,
Ako tingin ko. Bilis mo mag-agree. 4-all lang ang score natin. But both games, of course, are the upswing in the country. This is inside. Yes, sir.
Service ace for Honra on that one, just on the line, and hindi na inuportan itong Coast Guard.
San Sebastian, after a sleepy start at 2-0, now ahead by 1. The setup, Abdul Wahib. Oh, quick counter.
Gatdula between the blockers of San Sebastian, Alana and Ramirez were there, pero ang laki nung gap between those blockers, kaya nakalusot yung palo ni Rudy.
That is so true, very clearly so. Alam mo, malakas yung mga military teams, no? They have time, well, their first order of business is to get ready as athletes. Nung araw, nung wala pa yung mga leagues kasi, people would go join the military teams. Nung wala pa itong mga different volleyball leagues, they would join the military teams and become part of those teams. The players like Tina Salak, for instance, would become a member of a military force. Eventually, she played on for the Army.
Iba rin kasi yung training nila sa
at saka they're dedicated na sila sa athletes doon. Wala namang gera, so hindi naman sila magiging sundalong lalaban. 6-all ang score natin, mga kaibigan. Marsh Cruz with us for Spikers Third this afternoon alongside Sev Sermenta. My first time to visit them here. In the meantime, we have Coast Guard trying to execute a play, and it just goes out. Too strong, too much power.
DeMarcus, too much angle on that attack. He was targeting a particular player, pero nasobrahan.
Alam mo, sa umpisa, sinusubukan mo muna gano'ng kalakas ka pwede pumalo. Gusto mong subukin yung blocks kung kabilang panig, kung matibay ba.
Kung lulusot ba yung bola mo or kaya mong basagin yung blockers.
Yes, indeed. And this one does not cross over. Gatdula unable to nail that, and we're quickly at the first technical timeout. San Sebastian slightly ahead after down in the early goings, 8-6.
Kanina late ka. Galang. Pag bumalik yung bola, bagalan yung na-receive, play ka ng ganito ha, din sa ako. Pag big quick, sino yung quick sa harap? Pag big quick mo siya, parang nawala yung sa 4. Lahat ng service doon papunta ha. Pasok!
Your Spikers Turf is back wherever you are, following us here on One Sports and our different platforms. It's San Sebastian up against Coast Guard, and Ramirez has a tab on it, puts it at 9-6 in favor of the Stags.
Very well read by Ramirez. Alam niya agad yung gagaliwin niya. Once na tumaas yung bola in front of him, hindi na niya binigyan ng chance yung Coast Guard.
He didn't really have to pound it that hard, huh?
Just straight down dahil wala ngang coverage itong Coast Guard. And now a service ace for San Sebastian. They had a slow start pero now they are keeping up in this game.
May college energy lumalabas dito sa mga taga-Basti. Always been one of the strong teams of the NCAA, both in the men's and the women's programs. Eto na, paluin mo, Mosh.
Kasim on that one off the block.
Natural instinct ni Mosh, kumano na dalawang kamay, titig sana.
Akala ko kasi iwasan ng second referee natin.
Hindi, galit sa atin yan. Sinusubukan yung digging mo. 10-7 po ang ating bilang. Ramirez fires, gets it to bite. The blockers were not important in that play.
taking advantage of that gap between the blockers of Philippine Coast Guard. Not the most powerful from Ramirez, but it was still good. Nalusutan niya yung blockers.
Gatdula, Abdul Wahib. Oh, Mintis. I think he lost the ball in the lights there.
That was,
He missed it completely.
iba yung talsik ng bola. That one, Seb, maling-mali yung timing niya.
He lost the ball in the lights. Let's try to listen in.
Anong pinaka-weak natin? Di ba, receive? Anong pakaling natin muna?
Sir, hindi ko nakita yung bola.
Wala pa play, wala tayong first goal, di ba? Okay lang sana. Hindi ako lang sana kung may mataas pa mataas talaga, di ba? Gusto natin yung weak natin. Kasi dyan tayo nagkakaproblema sa receive talaga. Sa first goal natin.
Tayo ba niyo?
And you heard him, what Gatdula had problems with.
That was Casil Ismail.
Sorry. You're right.
At sabi niya,
Nawala yung bola daw.
masyado kasing mataas, so dumaretso dun sa ilaw dito sa Paco Arena.
You're right. It was Kasim, number 12 actually, who said, Sir, hindi ko nakita yung bola. And it looked like that way. Abdul Wahib, and good counter that time. Oh boy, and Tig.
And Tig making up for that error earlier before that timeout. And the Philippine Coast Guard, we know how they play. Kaya nilang bumawi in terms of pag nagkaroon sila ng error, babawiin agad nila sa atake.
And here comes Kasim, all set to serve now. He wants to make up for that miscue earlier, and a little too much butter on that one.
Overcooking that one, masyadong mataas yung pagkabato ni Ismail Kasim.
Kuminsan ba sa pag-toss mo kuminsan yan, you try to overcompensate ang nangyayari doon?
Kasi kapag mataas yung bato mo, hahabulin mo pa yung bola. Unlike pag tamang-tama lang yung bato mo and you had that perfect timing. Especially jump serve yung ginawa dito ni Ismail.
Alam mo yung electric pan doon? Kanina pa tinatarget nito mga player natin. Hindi ko alam kung ano galit nila doon sa electric pan.
Baka nilalamig sila sa because ang lamig dito sa Paco Arena.
Nahihipan sila ng samantala. 15-8. San Sebastian setting the pace here. Ramirez will be serving.
Ramirez with that service ace. Now San Sebastian has this momentum early in this first set. Nawala agad yung energy ng Philippine Coast Guard.
Good dig on the back row. Set up play now. That will punch through for Honra.
Good thing for San Sebastian, nalulusutan talaga nila yung blockers nitong Philippine Coast Guard. So kapag nakakapag-set up sila ng attackers nila, nagkakascore sila automatic.
We are at the second technical timeout. Marcia and I will be right back.
Tingnan mo yung bola pag nag-swing ka. Robby, lahat ng service doon, di ba? Oo. Pag ibigay sa libero, doon lahat. Ang tagulo niyo.
Nagpapatuloy po ang Spikers Turf from the Paco Arena, one of the new sports venues in the city. Very spanking new venue. We hope you can visit us one of these days for the Spikers Turf. Here we go. Woo! Power unleashed.
Ang ganda-agad ng simula nito ni Edemar Kasim. First 2 points of Philippine Coast Guard sa kanya. And now, from the timeout, from the technical timeout, siya agad with that powerful attack.
And that's what you want coming out of a timeout for the team to produce right away. This service in play. Honra, bit of a miss-hit, but makes the connection nonetheless. And that's why he'll be smiling after this play.
Tinimingan na lang niya, ginawa na lang niya ng paraan at parang power angle pa yung nangyari dito for Honra.
Nagalitan po yung set. Taas-taas kasi bola. Sabi siya, babaan ng konti. Pero ito na, take the point. 79, and that is out of reach.
Service ace for Lim. Now for Philippine Coast Guard, sila naman ngayon nagkakaproblema dito sa reception from the service.
They're not together, no? They're not playing as a team. Let's see what they talk about dito sa timeout na to.
Laruin natin kung saan allows.
Ano, malalaman pa tayo, babalabag niya.
Pag bukang receipt ng ano kabila, basahin nyo na.
Oo, pre, di naman masusunuan na yun, pre.
Malapit sa atin.
Di ba, di naman masusunuan na yun, nasa antena. Tara!
Let's go!
I think that's more or less self-explanatory. Ano ba? Ano ba?
But this is a better first set compared to their last game against PLDT because in their last game, 4 points lang yung ginawa nitong Philippine Coast Guard.
They're not together. They're not playing as a unit. They're playing as individuals. And they're talking about it that way. They need to snap it together here. While on the other hand, the Stags, they're moving as one herd here. That is outside. That'll make it 19-10.
Now a break na parang iniintay nitong Philippine Coast Guard. They need to communicate dahil hindi sila nagsasalita. Isa lang naman ang magic word dito sa volleyball, which is mine, pero hindi nila ginagawa.
That is so true. Nice set. Well-run play, and it was already on the ground. I like the hesitation of the setter because that threw off the defense completely.
Definitely a beautiful combination play for Honra on that one. Tumalon muna si Lana, but Honra over the blockers of Philippine Coast Guard.
Gusto ko yung hesitation ni Ferrer dun eh. In the meantime, there's a good counter, making it 20 against 11. San Sebastian still in the lead, but the serve now belongs to the Coast Guard. Kasim, this is Edimar doing the serving duties. The setup job. Pamita nearly missing there. Here's the counter. The block is there. And it's down and out.
Single block by Pamitan. Rudy Gatdula did not load on that attack. Diretso agad sa kanya yung bola and he was not ready for that coverage.
On reserve, out of control. 21-12. Kuminsan pag may tina-target ka, it ends up, hindi lang, kasi sa level na to, hindi lang pinapasok yung serve.
Yes.
Kailangan may strategic intention eh.
You have that specific target dun sa loob ng court and kapag na-miss niya once, siya ulit yung tatargetin mo.
Sometimes coaches point on the board, dito ka, and sometimes when you're following that, that gets up being messed up. In the meantime, here's the setup shot. Ramirez fires and it's off the blockers. It'll go to San Sebastian.
Everything just going into the way of San Sebastian. They are communicating well. Their chemistry is very good compared to Philippine Coast Guard. Very quiet on their side.
Just playing together as a team here. 22-12 is our score here in the first. Abdul Wahab missed, but they make that connection no matter how difficult it was for Intig.
And Tig just seeing that hole in the court of San Sebastian, just dropping that over, and San Sebastian was not ready for that. I think they were anticipating for a powerful attack from Intig.
All set now for the serve of Dulaid. Anasil Dulaid getting the authority to serve. They'll jump into it. Back row at work. And the regalo taken care of by Antig.
An over-receive from Honra resulting to Entig just happily receiving that regalo and no one from San Sebastian was there.
Yun gusto ko mauso internationally, yung regalo. Tayo lang nagsasabi yan.
Yes.
Diba yung iba ang social. Overpass. walang meaning eh. In the meanwhile, we have a powerful hit from the right flag coming from Pamitan. Pamitan is not very tall, but gets a good vertical leap. Eusebio is coming in for the setter position, coming in for Ferrer. Eusebio is also, Lim is also in, Pamitan moving out. They have the luxury of mixing up a few players right now.
Definitely just 2 points away in getting this first set.
Velasquez with a lefty serve. Combination. Now huli ng blockers, but it rolls away.
Abdul Wahab smartly making sure that the blockers are going to get a touch of that ball and lalabas yung bola loading on that attack.
23-15. First set being controlled by the Stags. Very difficult dig. Here's a chance for the Coast Guard to set it up nicely. The adjustment in the air. Push up that time. The counter. It's a miss.
A good intention by Lim, but the blockers of Philippine Coast Guard, they were there. And again, nagulat itong San Sebastian.
Yeah.
No one was there to get that.
23-16 in the opening set. And that's messed up. It'll bring it to set point.
Costly service error for Philippine Coast Guard. Now, kapag naghahabol ka and your opponent malapit na dito sa set point, you must avoid those service errors.
The kneeling set and a good strike that time by Coast Guard.
Eddie Marquesim not giving up on their plays. One more time for them. Hindi pa tapos itong set na to.
Dulahit, nagdasal sandali. Sinetap ng malinis. 24-17. You don't want to break this momentum. You may not take the set, but you need something for the next set, actually. Here's Entig. Look, tinamaan yung tao.
Nagdalawang isip kasi siya kung kukunin pa niya yung bola or iiwasan niya Ramirez. Unfortunately, tinamaan pa siya.
Will I go or will I not? Will I jump or will I not? And he's apologetic.
Sa TV, highlight sa TV. Isa lang yan, isa lang. O, isa na lang, isang receive. Patay. Butas yung bola. Huwag ka natin pahabulin yan.
Ay, lahat ng receive sa gitna, pataas. Hindi papasok yung receive. Para makadiskarte yung setter. Dom, oy, ba't service mo pataas na naman?
Ito yung binapractice natin.
Now, San Sebastian wants to make sure that they are going to get this set. Specific instructions for the players. Yung receive mo dapat pataasan, hindi patusok para makapag-set up ng maayos for the attackers.
Ang daming nadinig na comment, butas yung bola. They're trying to just finish it, but Coast Guard has other ideas as Edemar Kasim finds a way.
Right away, first move dito ni Eddie Marquesim, hindi na siya nagdalawang isip to get that ball and kill it.
All you need is a hand on it, a finger on it, and that'll take care of it. If you get it in the right place, it's usually good. And that'll do it for this first set, as the first set is taken care of by the San Sebastian Stags at 25-19. Slow start by the Coast Guard, Mosh.
Definitely for the Coast Guard, yung first start nila, medyo dinahandahan pa nila. Pero itong San Sebastian, nakuha agad yung rhythm and nagtuloy-tuloy sila getting this first set.
Let's take in some numbers from that opening set picked up by San Sebastian.
In the first set, San Sebastian getting a 25 points and Philippine Coast Guard 19. Ang laki ng difference ng attacks, 14 for the Philippine Coast Guard and only 9 for San Sebastian. But the errors of Philippine Coast Guard, they committed 8 errors at itong San Sebastian, only 2. In the first set, yung adjustments ng San Sebastian, ang bilis nilang nabasa kung paano maglaro itong Philippine Coast Guard. And we mentioned earlier, Sev, na walang energy itong Philippine Coast Guard, and even Coach Jeff asked them, gusto nyo pa bang maglaro? Kasi kung hindi na, sabihin na lang natin.
Madali tayong kausap, ano? But I'm sure their pride was picked there, and they'll try to get this second set. San Sebastian winning in that first, and a very energetic start by the Coast Guard.
Okay, hits the line, just on the line for that attack, and San Sebastian did not even bother to get that kasi mukhang lalabas yung bola, but it was fortunate for Philippine Coast Guard.
Here's a nice ding, but a good up, hindi umabot yung attempt that time by Abdul Wahib. Well, dalawa pala, no? Dalawang Kasim, dalawang Abdul Wahab, tatlong Kasim actually. Of course, ang selection base ng Coast Guard, malawak, buong Pilipinas. They can get it from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We are tied at 1 here in the second set.
Okay, once again, getting that point for Philippine Coast Guard. He did not play in the first set, and now starting off, maganda yung nilalaro niya.
We've got K. Pamitan with the pickup there, and it's a tough angle, and the blocks were there. Sarado, Candado.
And now a good net defense for the Philippine Coast Guard. Kanina kasi nalulusatan sila ng atake nitong San Sebastian. And now closing up that gap, solid block for the Philippine Coast Guard.
Parang feeling nila, ano ba, interesado ba kayong maglaro? Parang they were not there in that first set until in the last portion. In the meanwhile, that one sails out. That'll make the count here 2 against 3.
Second service error for the Philippine Coast Guard early in the second set.
We've got Lana all set to serve. This is Julius James Lana. Nice kneeling set. And the quick strike by Antig. Nakakatuwang gumalaw itong si Dulahid. Ano? Pagka nagsaset siya with energy, siya nagpo-provide ng spunk.
And yun yung wala kanina sa Philippine Coast Guard, yung energy giver from that team.
Siya yung pinakamaliit, pero siya yung nag-i-enjoy so far sa takbo ng laro. Nakikiblock pa siya. Walang liit-liit yan, sir. Naku, umabot sa langit. Wala na, 4 touch. Kung sakaling tinira. Nakadublete pa. Lahat ng maisip mong violation nandun na. Kasi kung tumama yun sa roof, point na yun.
Hindi pwede.
Oo, daming pwede pagpilian yung referee actually.
Ang taas pa ng bola, so may time pa siya pag-isipan kung anong error yung
double.
itatawag.
Oh, wicked one.
Binawi yung error niya kanina on that attack, and he was from the back. Ngayon, frontliner na dito si Eddie Marcasim.
Medyo all business ngayon itong Coast Guard dito sa second set na scratch yung pride nila. Ferrer sends it to the other end, and that goes down and out.
Through the block, getting that point for San Sebastian. And Seb, mention mo kanina yung pride because San Sebastian wala pang panalo dito sa conference na ito. No, Philippine Coast Guard, meron silang isa. Kung mananalo itong San Sebastian in this game, pareho sila ng standing.
Oh, that's something to work for. In the meantime, Kasim, that's Edemar Kasim, continues to be hot here in the second. 6-4 is the count.
Philippine Coast Guard, they need more contributors here in this game para
That's rightly so, correct yun. And Tig. Oh, they get an ace.
Now, miscommunication on Ramirez and Pamitan on that one. Di nila alam kung sino yung dapat kumuha ng bola, but definitely that was for Pamitan. So, siya yung nakaharap dito sa net.
Kuminsan nga, nagtutulak ka. But never works. You have to be in the right position to begin with. Here's Ferrer trying to decide who to go to. Goes the other way. There's a hand by the libero. Keeps it in play. Lim suddenly realizes that it's still fair territory. Here comes Zulay with a set. It's off the blockers. The libero gets to it quickly. Ferrer. Here's the ding. It's out. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
in for Philippine Coast Guard. Honra, hindi na niya kinuha yung bola, thinking that will go out.
And it's now at the first technical timeout of the second. The Coast Guard playing through difficult waters, trying to stay afloat here in the second.
Kargaan natin yung service natin, kargaan natin. Kasi yung kabila, wala din naman receive yan. Kargaan din natin. Kasi kung service natin, target at saka nakapag-play sila. Hinga! Good! Go!
We are glad you could join us. I'm Sarmento here with Marsh Cruz and our entire hardworking One Sports Signal team. And it's the last day to shine for many of our teams. In fact, for all our 6 teams on the schedule here today, starting on Tuesday. Neil was beginning to talk about the schedule. We won't have games on Sunday, but then on Tuesday, the fireworks begin as early as 10 o'clock in the morning.
Because we will be having 4 games on October 8. So yung quarterfinals na yun, isang day. And kung manalo man yung twice to beat advantage na teams, tapos na agad yung quarterfinals. But kapag meron pa tayong second game, that will be on
Thursday.
10, yes. October 10.
Meanwhile, action continues with this one. First set going the way of San Sebastian. High up and out. Iniwasan ni Edemar Casim yung blockers but ended up too high on that.
That is right, Edemar Casim. At that time, gusto niyang over the blockers yung bola niya. Pero overcooking on that one.
It was, hindi na wala na intention na mag-wrist snap eh. He was really going for something powerful. In the meantime, a mess up of the serve by the Stags. Here's Ferrer with the set. Good hand in it by Edemar Casim. No?
That was outside for Edemar Casim.
Lumabas. Oh, I celebrated too early with Casim and he already let out a yell actually.
Napalakas
Ayun, no, mukhang in pero hindi talaga ang ating referee siya of course closer to the action.
Masyadong na-excite dun si Edemar.
Ako rin. 9-8. Here's Dulahid recovering it. Nice track down by the very hard-working San Sebastian libero.
Andrade, that was the libero of San Sebastian.
Yeah.
And the attack from Pamitan, ang layo nung pinanggalingan ng bola. But still a good cross-court attack from him.
Si Jerome Andrade has kept the ball alive on several occasions. Just when you thought the ball was already going down and the serve is in control on that one.
Again, the miscommunication in the side of Philippine Coast Guard. Wala na namang nag-uusap. Tatlo silang players on that one na pwedeng kumuha ng service.
Alam mo, ang problema ng body language, they wanna attack right away. Hindi pa nila nakukuha yung bola. They wanna attack already. Dulahid tracks it down. Difficult pirouette on that one. Nagkakagulo sa depensa and they took full advantage.
Edemar Casim, nandun pa kasi siya sa gilid ng court, hindi siya bumalik agad. So, nung binalik ng San Sebastian yung bola, he was not in the right position to get that.
Exactly. And we're going to have a timeout by the Coast Guard that has now fallen behind by 2.
Ano play niya? 5 naman. Matas, para si muna, hayaan mo, tumakbo ka na malayo. Hindi mo sa ano. Mag-receive ka muna, tas mo. Pagka-receive niya, dito ka. Dam, tarangi, Dam. Malaki sa'yo. Receive lang. Dam, mag-receive ka rin, Dam. Receive ka rin dito. Kung matras kayo, lahat mga open. Kung matras lahat. Kaya nyo ibigay sa loob. Problema naman tayo sa first ball natin. Isang patay naman eh.
Well, pag timeout, nagkakaintindihan naman sila. Alam nila kung gagawin. Alam mo, iba talaga pagka nangyari na sa game. Ito na, after being down early, San Sebastian with a good run.
7-1 run. San Sebastian just working as a team. Makikita natin yung chemistry nila. Kahit tinginan lang sila, hindi sila nagsasalita masyado. Pero yung body language nila, nagkakaintindihan sila inside the court.
Yes, indeed.
Unlike, sobrang baliktad naman dito sa Philippine Coast Guard. Body language din, pero hindi sila nagkakaintindihan.
Yun nga eh, parang feeling ko, attack tayo kagad. Hindi pa nila kontrolado yung bola. Dulahid. This is blocked. And it stays in.
Conra and Lana were there to get that attack from Philippine Coast Guard. And for Philippine Coast Guard, hindi na sila nakaka-atake ng malakas. It is because, as you mentioned, Seb, gusto nilang matake agad. Walang gustong kumuha ng bola. Walang gustong mag-dig dito sa atake from San Sebastian.
Dulahid, he's been decent as a setter. The defense that needs work for Coast Guard. They get to it. Dulahid still there. Here's the setup job. Oh, good return. Email bounced. But that is even more decisive.
Second time around, Edimar Casim making sure to get that point out of that cross-court attack. First one, nakuha ng defense nitong San Sebastian, but the second time, hindi na niya hinayaan.
Casim serve out of line, and that'll make it 13 against 10 in favor of the Stags.
Targeting zone 5 of San Sebastian's court, but it was too wide for Edimar Casim.
Bunsuan will come in for the first time. Ito yung future ng Philippine volleyball. Tall, long, young men. Yung generation na ito, lumaki. No? What did we feed them, really? I have no idea.
Yes, mas matatangkad sila. Yung built ng katawan mas malalapad compared to earlier generations.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why there's hope, even in the men's game, that we could get back on the podium, first on the Southeast Asian level. In the meantime, whoa! That hurts. That hurts.
Once again, no movement for the Philippine Coast Guard. Tinignan na lang yung bola until it landed on the floor.
And Retamar shocked just as shocked as he is with his teammates. Retamar says, sige, pabawi naman. Makes it a set. Ooh, he ended up with a two-handed toss on the jump there. Loaded up, but it'll go still to San Sebastian, and they arrive at the second technical timeout mark, ahead 16-10.
Welcome siya sa post 1, 2. Ganun lang. Para mabilis. Oy,
Go, gana pa.
pag-follow ni Casim, lahat ng bola, block yung cross-court. Cross-court lang.
Tapos na, SEC.
San Sebastian, after a slow start, in front, 16-10, leading in the set count. 1-0. They took the first, 25-19, in just 21 minutes of action. Let's see how the Coast Guard, the Dolphins, respond here.
Ang ganda na sana ng nilalaro ng Coast Guard early in the second set, pero nawala na naman just when San Sebastian got along once again. Hindi na nakasagot itong Philippine Coast Guard.
In the meanwhile, we had Rashin Abdul Wahab making a clean connection with Dulahid, and that was unstoppable. They reobtained the serve. They're currently down by 5.
And that one, good combination play for the Philippine Coast Guard na matagal na nilang hindi nagagawa dito sa game na to because kanina puro open, tres lang sila, but on that combination play, high percentage for Philippine Coast Guard.
Combination is red, and that's outside. The other libero of San Sebastian is already in action, Marvin John Bihag. You can use two liberos as long as you appoint them and give them a different uniform at the start of the game. Of course, the libero usually comes in for the people in the back row, for the middle blocker, usually. In the meantime, kasi made it a set. Out, sayang. Ganda ng play.
Yeah. Ang ganda sana ng execution, but too much power in the angle on that one, it went out.
Kasi na-throw off na yung blockers eh. They thought he would attack on 2. They made it a set, hindi lang na sync ng maayos. Lamang ng 5, ang baste. Stacks against Dolphins here. Nag-alangan. Huli. And Tig with an active front row stint here. And Tig, I think, got it.
All the credits to Intig on that
Everything,
sequence.
yes.
You know, the blocking, yung pag-drop niya, and getting that ball. And with that kind of attack, no one can stop him anymore.
The starter, Abdul Wahab, number 10, is back in action. Gatdula also returns. These are two starters that are coming back. Dulahid and Adam move out. Ooh, long.
Malamig pa itong si Abdul Wahab. Masyadong palobo yung service niya, not landing on the spot that he wanted.
18-13.
Service ace on that one for Pamitan. It was not so difficult to receive, but Gatdula was just standing up.
Alam mo, gusto ko mong squeeze, gusto mong isigaw as coach of Coast Guard, baba, stay down.
Yes.
Diba? The basic high school call of any coach, and that is...
That was not over, that ball.
Double, doblete tuloy. Ang graceful ng referee natin mag-point ng ano, yung nasa taas. Ang graceful niya mag-point ng point. 19-14 ang ating bilang. And let's see if Coast Guard has some... Oh boy, just as when you thought they had some comeback qualities, they waste their serve. San Sebastian now is 5 points away from closing a 2-0 lead in the set count.
Again, at this point of the set, pag umahabol ka, you should avoid those service errors because that will be a momentum breaker. Kahit nakakahabol ka na like 2 or 3 points, kapag nag-service error ka, mawawala agad yun.
Oh, well done.
A point for Lim on that one, a quick one, and no one for the Philippine Coast Guard was ready for that.
Ang ganda dumiskarte ng setter ng San Sebastian. He has some moves. He throws it. There he is in the middle of your picture, Ferrer. He'll throw you off with a leg kick. He'll kneel down. Hindi mo alam ang gagawin niya kung minsan. Never the same move. In the meantime, this is wasted and the Coast Guard stays afloat here.
And talking about Ferrer, he distributes his setup properly. Hindi niya laging binibigay on Honra, Pamitan, his strong attackers. Talagang binibigay niya, giving chance to others.
There's a chance to spread the offense, so to speak, he'll do that. And he has done that excellently so far in the 2 sets. And they lead currently 21-15.
Talking about Ferrer, that drop ball.
You know, the young men on the left side of your picture telling their kuyas, take that. Take that. You don't want to track it down. We'll keep doing this. Nice combination. They should keep doing that, actually. Elimar Kasim on the firing end.
Now, for Philippine Coast Guard, kapag nagko-combination play sila, automatic na score for them. But rarely nila itong nagagawa because they're having some troubles on their floor defense. Hindi nila nabibigay ng maayos sa setter.
We are at 22-16. Dulahid will be serving. Who did not start, but played well so far in the second set. He's back in the game. Retamar was there, and here comes the easy over. Ferrer with the set. It's inside. It's inside.
De Guzman, cross-court attack and a loaded one inside for San Sebastian, and they are celebrating. I like the smiles on their faces.
Well, on the other hand, there's a cloud on the side of the Coast Guard. It's so heavy. Alam mo, pag lamang ka and you're getting your place in, although that is botched rather, you know, ang saya mo, ang gaan ng feeling mo naglalaro eh. Ang dig ng bola, ang gaan, bang, parang ulap lang.
Kasi wala ka na-feel na pressure na kailangan maganda yung gawin ko.
That's even better said than I can imagine. In the meantime, here's the setup job. And they're on target.
De Guzman, once again, a good attack from him. Hindi siya naglaro on the first set, but this one really performing well for San Sebastian.
And a good energy player coming off the bench. You need players who will come off your bench and provide some scoring, some energy. Here comes some sloppy volleyball on that side of the floor, unable to control it. Here comes the dink. Coast Guard trying to get their act together here. Ooh, get it to go. I thought they still had the chance to get to it, but Rafshin Abdul Wahab getting the point.
The effort of San Sebastian was really there, pero masyadong mabagal na yung movement on that one. But for the Philippine Coast Guard, dinaanan nila sa veteran moves itong San
Correct.
Sebastian.
Correct. It is still nonetheless San Sebastian at set point, 24-18. They could ice it here. Ferrer, nalata mo, he doesn't go on two. He doesn't really go on two. He likes to go distribute the ball. And that'll bring us to the end of the second set. It ends at 25-18. I thought, Mosh, that it would be different with a good start of the Coast Guard.
Definitely, Sev, ang ganda nung sinimula nitong Coast Guard. They had their energy, nag-cheer sila, and even celebrating when they get scores. But San Sebastian, they were able to adjust. Nakuha nila ulit yung momentum dito sa Philippine Coast Guard.
So far, San Sebastian managing to find a way to be ahead in the set count 2-0. They took the first 25-19 and took the second in 20 minutes 25-18.
Same story here in the second set, but looking at the numbers, 11 attacks for Philippine Coast Guard and San Sebastian. Pero I know yung pinagkaiba nila, San Sebastian had this energy of they want to win in this game. Now for Philippine Coast Guard, no signs at all for them. Hindi nila pinapakita na gusto nila manalo dito sa game na to. And even their movement, slow transition for Philippine Coast Guard. And for San Sebastian, working as a team, great contributors, not only Honra, but at this time, Pamitan there, as well as Pamitan, De Guzman was also there in the latter part of the set. Ang ganda ng nilaro niya.
That is why you will see on the lineup right now of the Coast Guard, they shuffled it. Major changes personnel-wise. They have some new faces there that looking for some youthful energy that will ignite their game here.
Kasim Ismail, who started this game for Philippine Coast Guard, hindi siya naglaro in the second set because he had a bad start. Ang lalakas ng palo nito. And let us see kung kaya niyang bumawi because he is one of the most reliable players for Philippine Coast Guard.
Honra fired a big cannonball there, but it was returned to sender. The Coast Guard firing back, and they're ahead at the start of the third. Abdul Wahab, who was a starter, Still in the service area. Honra, he's a cannonball. He is a leaper.
Definitely not the tallest of them all. Pero ang taas ng talon niya. And he was over the blockers on that one.
At saka yung speed ng pag-issue ni Ferrer sa kanya. Ang bilis yung tempo. It's always beating the blockers of Coast Guard thus far. Ooh, big miss. It's been this kind of afternoon for the Dolphins. Francisco missing there.
Looking at the teams, San Sebastian, they are ready for this Philippine Coast Guard. Alam mong inaral nila kung paano maglaro.
Very good observation,
Etong
yes.
players ng Coast Guard. On the other side, they are seen so lost.
Oh, look at Ferrer with a good dig. And look at that, Lana with good coverage. And it's an open spot.
Pamitan. Nilagay na lang yung bola on that one. And again, no one moved for the Philippine Coast Guard. Ginawa na lang yun ng paraan. It was too close sa net, pero iniwasan niya yung net.
Gusto mo yung confidence ni Ferrer as a setter. Parang yung feeling mo, everything will be all right as long as our setter is distributing well. Oh, alam mo, malakas papalo yung Coast Guard eh. It's just that nagigigil sila as of the moment eh.
And the same story na gusto nila palo agad na hindi muna nila inaayos yung first ball nila.
4-1, San Sebastian jumping out in front, trying to finish the afternoon of Coast Guard. They lead in the set count 2-0. However, Ferrer messing up his serve.
Ferrer can afford to have that kind of error because he has been doing great here in this game for his teammates.
That's Aldre Ferrer, the setter. Ooh, swerte ni Pamitan, tumawid ha. That nearly was swallowed by the net actually.
Good decision by Pamitan with the help of the net. Dahil nag-aabang doon si Kasim, pero dahil sumabit pa sa net, nag-slow down yung bola.
Alam mo, ang gusto ko sa players ng San Sebastian, galing nila magbasa ng floor. Alam nila kung saan yung butas, saan nila padadala, saan nagkakagulo sa kabilang. Look at this. Bunsuan, sorry.
Bunsuan, making sure that the blockers are gonna touch that attack. And kahit lumabas yung bola, again, kasi no effort for the Philippine Coast Guard. Pwede pa sana bang habulin, pero wala kasing tumakbo.
Meron din kaya may birthday dito sa San Sebastian. Sa Lasal kanina, merong may birthday kaya ang saya-saya nila eh. Si Billy Anima may birthday kanina.
Oh, birthday pala niya.
Kaya naman pala yung bigay ng bola ng setter. Ni Marco. In the meanwhile, lakas ni papalo sa Sebastian actually. Yep, they get the point. It's a check.
Check ball. Finally, nahawakan ng blockers ng San Sebastian. Ito kasing kanina pang inaabangan ng Coast Guard na meron laging check ball kaya nilalakasan at nilalakasan nila.
Oo. San Sebastian in the lead nonetheless. The push by Lana. Easily handled. That's it.
Ball handling violation.
Yep, it's a lift.
Lahat na yata ng errors na commit nitong Coast Guard in this game.
Foot fault na lang yata ang hindi nila nakakommit. But that's usually a call again by a referee that usually is a setter before they didn't like it. But sometimes it's so obvious. That is going to nick the corner. And that will make it 7 against 5 here.
Finally, Kasim Ismail. Ganun yung specialty niya. Sobrang patusok na cross-court attack and will just land on the line.
Miss.
Attack error by Bunsuan. Nasa ilalim siya ng bola nung pinalo niya. That's why it did not went over.
Wala nang chance para i-dink eh. Kasi nasa ilalim ng bola. Wala na, lunod na eh. Palo na lang, bahala na. In the meanwhile, Valencia gets set to go. And we arrive at the technical timeout, the first one. And San Sebastian with a lot of confidence. You can see that in their eyes. They're ahead.
Nakataas na yung bola.
Break ball natin.
Receive muna tayo, sa gitna lang yung bola.
Kanina sakto.
Di ba pasok ka kanina?
Go, 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 go!
Here with Marsh Cruz and yours truly, Seb Sarmenta, for the Spikers trip this afternoon. It's the final day of completing your schedule for our 6 teams here today. On Tuesday, we begin with our quarterfinal round. We'll have a full deck of 4 games starting at 10 in the morning. In the meanwhile, the libero of the Coast Guard unable to handle the volleyball. That's Retamar.
Even the libero of the Philippine Coast Guard couldn't get that service from San Sebastian. Really, Coast Guard is disoriented once again.
Nice, powerful spike, but the dig is just as excellent. Mali yung double touch. Kita mo yung spin ng bola eh.
Na ano yata siya dito kay Kasim. Kasi tumalon si Kasim nung isi-set siya eh.
Eto si Kasim trying to gather his thoughts and load up too long.
Again, on that service error from the Philippine Coast Guard, he just couldn't control that well anymore.
Alam mo, kung minsan pag naghahabol ka eh, alam mo, nanggigigil ka rin, nilalagay mo ng extra pressure eh. Itong kanilang jump server. Nice set. Ooh, big miss.
Nandun talaga yung gigil dito kay Kasim because he did not have a good start in this game. So gusto sana niyang bumawi pero nandun yung pressure sa kanya and naghahabol sila lalo in the set count and dito sa third set.
He's having a difficulty seeing the ball in the lights. Huh? Ready na yung back row. Ready na yung back row.
Papaluin ka sa...
Isa-set ko na kay motion, palo yun.
That one will go to the Philippine Coast Guard off the block from that attack.
Alam mo, dati yung libero, sumili sa buhing. Nagdigang kami rito.
Minsan inaabangan ko yun, pero Seb, kapag si Jot yung partner ko, walang pag-asa
Wala
eh.
yun, wala yun.
Hindi niya talaga kukunin. One time, tinamaan na ako ng bola, tinawanan lang ako.
Sama talaga ugali. No? 11-9 is the count here. Minsan naman yung dati mong teammate, si Denise, sinesetan ko siya. Pag pinapaluan ko, nataas ko. Papaluin ni Denise.
Namiss niya pumalo.
Sabay, siya naman yung talagang setter. In the meanwhile, Honra. I like Honra when he jumps. Ha? Ang ito, ha? Itong San Sebastian, parang mga tipaklong, no?
Parang ang gaan ng katawan nila.
At saka pareho yung body type, ha? Walang yung muscular na malaki.
Very lean. It's because of the training sa
siguro,
volleyball.
Isang cafeteria ang pinagkakainan nito. Samantala, the Coast Guard just trying their earnest best. You can't fault them for not trying, but they gotta get it together here. I like the way this guy makes the signal. Sinatago pa niya with his shirt. Where am I going? Quick tayo. And nahuli. Coast Guard with better defense on that sequence.
Francisco was there to guard their net and no coverage for San Sebastian.
12-11. 2-set lead by the team in red on the right side of your picture. Coast Guard trying to play catch-up here. They get it to go. Now we're tied at 12.
Edimar Kasim working out for the Philippine Coast Guard pero kailangan pa mag-step up ng ibang players dito sa Philippine Coast Guard.
Yeah, you're right because he's been all business since the start. Some frustration seen in his eyes, but plodding on. Uh-oh, nice block, and the lead is now in the hands of the Coast Guard.
Now better net defense here for the Philippine Coast Guard. Nababantayan na nila yung mga atake ng San Sebastian, even the combination plays.
Coach Norvi Labuga wants to talk to his team.
Ano play yun kanina? Double quick? Ha? Pag walang receive, sino kapalo doon sa labas? Ha? Ba't ka magpa-quick? Dalawa lang kayo.
Isa lang.
Receive muna kayo. Nat, depensa Nat. At sobrang layo mo. Takot ka ba may magtamaan sa bola?
Galit ang tatay. Well, ganun sa college coaching, ano? Alam mo, sa school coaching, your coach is usually a father figure. And this is a young team. He's molding them. Yung decision making, ano, yung habol niya doon.
Lamang na lamang sila. Now, Philippine Coast Guard is making a run and hindi nakakasagot. Itong San Sebastian, a good attack from Honra. Grabe talaga yung leap niya. Parang sumisili pa siya dito sa kabila.
Parang pwedeng pa niya i-Instagram yung view sa kabila eh. Yung Honra lumilipad talaga. Nako, malakas. Nako, binigay. Nakakuha nila. It looks strong but they managed to hit the inside area there.
Eddie Marquezim once again getting that point for Philippine Coast Guard. And the blockers of San Sebastian, hindi nila na-timingan ng maayos. Kaya very clear path for Eddie Mar on that one.
Lana with the first touch. Good defense up the net by the Coast Guard. Here's the counter. It's rejected. Nobody home for San Sebastian.
Now, ito yung difference ng Philippine Coast Guard in this set. Nag-activate sila ng net defense. Tinatalunan na talaga nila yung attackers nitong San Sebastian. And it is really working out for them.
Good point. It's now a 2-point lead for the Coast Guard. That's outside. And I think we're going to get to the technical timeout with a different story for now. Coast Guard ahead 16-13 at the technical turn.
Blocking ka. Pang-play lang mo nila na nabawasan naman eh. Hiwalay-hiwalay lang eh. Pero pag kayo natin tatlong block agad.
Magpunta?
May block tayo.
Yan ang sinasabi ko. Pag may receive, patayin. Kasi kawawa kasi yung nagre-receive tapos di pinapatay.
You're still with us here for Spiker's Turf action. Kunti ko na sabihin surf and turf eh. Pagkain yun.
Iba yun.
Gutom na eh. Huli! Better blocking. Your observation earlier about the net defense, that airspace is not protected well by the Coast Guard.
And now for San Sebastian, kanina pa sila nabablock and their problem has been their coverage. Walang nakakakuha.
That two-set lead is suddenly threatened here. Ferrer with a spinning set.
Good dig.
Lumilipad na mintis ni Honra.
Ito na ngayon yung pressure na feel na ng San Sebastian na kaninang nararamdaman ng Coast Guard. Gustong ibaon yung bola pero he was not in the right position to do that. Masyado siyang malayo sa net.
They make a setter change. Velasquez is in for Ferrer. And of course, coaches do this. Different look, konting balasa. Huli pa rin.
Ang ganda ng net defense talaga nitong Philippine Coast Guard. Francisco, single block on that one for Lana.
Ferrer moves out after 9 excellent sets, 4 attacks, 1 block, and 1 ace. Not a bad day so far on the Spiker's turf. And look at that, Lana punching that through.
Making up for that attack error earlier. Swinwipe na niya, hindi na niya hinayaan na mablock siya ni Francisco on that one. Iniwas na niya.
Yun ang sinasabi ng mga players. They find mahirap depensahin yung mga malilikot ang kamay. Hindi ho magnanakaw yun. Yun na lang, yung spiking lang ho talaga. Oh, Baste gets the point here.
That was a good break for San Sebastian. Lalo na humahabol sila dito in this set. Kailangan nila yon.
Coast Guard ahead by 4, but the serve is in the net for Honra.
Now yun yung hindi kailangan ng San Sebastian. A service error. Now Philippine Coast Guard is at the 20-point mark, which is very dangerous for San Sebastian.
Yun yung mga serve na kay Reynald Hornrack. Can I get it back? You wanna pull the ball back,
Gusto mong hipan pa, forwards.
Sana parang basketball, dalawang free throw. So if that's gone, you move on. Volleyball teaches you that. In the meantime, Abdul Wahab had to adjust, and that goes through. Bunsuan and Lana could not stop it, but they will use a timeout here. It's already a 6-point lead by the Dolphins. Let's see what they talk about.
Pag nag-block, pasok yung kamay. Tingnan nyo. Diba, ang hina lang ng palo. Dapat pumasok. Kasi yung kamay mo, yun, ang layo sa net. Ha? Ano ba yung quicker mo? Maliit? Ha? Diba sabi ko, quick nyo, itaas nyo lang, sila na yung bahala papalo doon. Anim lang yun.
He specifically pointed out Bunsuan there. He asked him to stay beside me. May sasabihin ako kasi, parang, anong oras ka umuwi kagabi? Diba? Parang pagagalitan. Diba? But smart volleyball talk in that time. I like the coaching there.
And sometimes they just need a wake-up call. Kahit very basic lang sasabihin mo, kailangan pa rin talaga ng players marinig yan from your coach.
Gusto ko sa kanya specific siya. Kuminsan ng coaches will end up with just lang X. Bunsuan responds. Some coaches will just say, receive muna tayo. Press ball, basta receive muna tayo. Then that's obvious, di ba? But those who are accustomed to their teams will talk a little more turkey, actually. And if you're used to that voice, you'll say, okay, tama yan. Hindi ka magdadamdam eh. Ganda nun.
If you're a player, Seva, hindi pwede sa'yo yung yung maramdamin ka.
Wala kang emo.
Oo, hindi pwede.
Diin nun.
That kind of attack from Ismail Kasim.
When he's on, he's on.
Yun yung hinahanap niya kanina pa eh.
Exactly. Makabawi man lang po. Kasi first set pa lang, yung unang set sa kanya, sala agad eh. Sabi niya, hindi niya nakita yung bola. Labas.
Bunsuan, too much power and angle on that one.
And the Coast Guard inching closer to shore here. 23-16. High. Bunsuan slapped it.
Slapped it under that ball and hindi mo na yun mareremedyohan kahit i-flick mo ba yung wrist mo.
And Ramirez comes in for Bunsuan, who got an eyeful from his coach as he went out. It is set point for the Coast Guard. Regalo. Naku, namintis. Lana. The set by Velasquez. Oh! And that'll do it.
A fortunate one
Go ahead.
for Ramirez on that one. It went out, but a good effort from him dahil gusto niya sanang patayin yung bola for them to have a chance here in this set. But Philippine Coast Guard tinapos agad itong Senator with better net defense. A very different set here in this third set. Look at those blocks. Philippine Coast Guard with 5 and none for San Sebastian. Yun lang naman yung difference on that set. Pero yung errors on San Sebastian, they committed 10 and just 6 for the Philippine Coast Guard. Ngayon, nung inactivate nitong Philippine Coast Guard yung net defense nila, hindi na nakasagot itong San Sebastian. They were not able to adjust on their floor defense and coverage. And napanalo ng Philippine Coast Guard, I think, it's because of their net defense talaga.
Suddenly, the Coast Guard said it's time to protect our shores, do something about it, and then they took care of the airspace instead. And Ferrer, he's gotten his breather on the bench so far with a good game of at least 9 excellent sets. Let's see if he can get his team straight into the win in the last set, and that's a good double block.
Lana, that block from Edimar Kasim. Kanina, ang ganda ng palo nitong Edimar Kasim. Loaded, strong, and speedy attack. But on that one, Lana and Honda were there to defend their net.
Fourth set action. And that's a lot of power.
Second time around, hindi nahahayaan ni Edimar Kasim na mangyari ulit yun. A clear path for him, taking advantage of the gap between the blockers of San Sebastian. Diretso, kay Honda yung bola niya.
Magaling na dancer din si Kasim. Nakita ko sumasayaw nung break between sets. Hindi siya pinapansin ng mga kampi niya. Ahay! Dangerous yun, ha? Pero sige, why not?
But as a coach, you would want to see your players to put some effort to get that ball. Yun yung wala kanina dito sa Coast Guard.
And they recovered just in time in that third set to be able to take it. Malakas talaga yung Kasim, kargado. However, a little too strong, too much iron in that one, and it's now San Sebastian by 2.
There is no question about Kasim having those powerful attacks, powerful hits. Pero sometimes, kailangan niya talagang i-control kasi most of the time ngayon, lumalabas talaga.
And they swing it to the other side. We have Adam making a connection there. We are in the fourth, and it's now 3 against 2. San Sebastian still in the lead.
Better volleyball for Philippine Coast Guard and San Sebastian in this set.
Good set. Huli lang. Recycled offense. Good call. Good call. I think the ball spun in a weird way. And that's why that ball has 3 colors. 3 ba? 2? At least 2.
2. Para mas madaling makita yung violations on the setter.
The service in play. Ferrer sets. There's a miss. Clearly so.
Mali yung lipad ng bola on that one. Pababa ng bola pero wala pa yung attacker nitong San Sebastian.
Larry Francisco all set to serve. Second opportunity to do so. Dug up cleanly. Ferrer sends it to the other end. And that's loaded.
Ramirez, a cross-court attack. Good one for him. May blocker siya pero nalusutan niya. Hindi man lang nahawakan itong Philippine Coast Guard.
And this is that point you made earlier. Hindi pumupunta si Ferrer exclusively. Hindi siya pumuporsyento lagi. Hinihiwa niya yung tinapay. Sige, magkakapatid, share this. That's a good call. You can see it off the spin.
And even the sound of the ball from that set from Kasim.
And that's one of the skills in volleyball that's sometimes taken for granted because you want to spike, you want to dig. Yung pag-set, yung tossing, boring kasi yung exercise yun eh. Di ba yung pinapound yung bola, na-set, inahagis mo din. That's a boring drill if you think about it, but you have to do it.
Definitely. Ako, Seb, hirap ako mag-set eh. Most of the time, nagkaka-double error ako sa
Ganun ba?
pag-set.
It's not an easy skill to master. Kailangan may feathery touch ka dyan eh. It's a touch thing.
Kailangan malambot yung kamay mo when you're a setter.
Yeah. Eh, kung suplado ka, matigas yung kamay mo. Talagang sampal ka na sampal. Ooh, that is inside.
Pamitan just on the line on that attack.
We're going to have a change in the Coast Guard roster. And Tig is going to step back into the game.
And Tig, ang ganda rin ng nilaro niya kanina on
Exactly.
the second set. Let us see if he will make a difference here in this set.
Carey is the one sent back to the bench. Here comes that serve. They're ahead 7-4. The hook by Antig. Pamitan sends it airborne. The easy toss over. Chance to attack here. Kasim, it's deflected. It's playable. It is reachable, but it's short.
Honra too low on that backline attack. Masyado na nang bababa yung pagkakuha niya.
And our score is at 7-5 here. San Sebastian not yet out of the woods. They were in fact leading in that third but lost it. But they now secure the 8th point that will bring us to the first technical timeout of this fourth set.
Hindi mo napalo ko. Wala ako sa left. Wala pang ball na pumapasok. Dumudulo nga yung ball nilang ibang suko.
Yung graph mo ang taas. Parang ang abot dun sa ano.
Diretso tayo!
You're back in a special volleyball place known as the Spikers Turf. Men's volleyball in the limelight here today. We are trying to complete our schedule of games. With still one more game left to play after this. And look at this, San Sebastian jumps out to a 9-5 lead, trying to finish off the very game, but a tad disoriented Coast Guard side.
Ida Madam, he was following that ball, but last second, nag-decide siya na hindi niya kunin. But that was in. Now, a good attack from Kasim.
When he's in flight, he is hard to stop when he already makes liftoff.
2 blockers, pero iwas na iwas.
Ang ganda rin ng set eh. 6-9. Pati serve, Cargado. Ferrer, gentle touch. Oh, yes, sir.
Ramirez just through the hands of the blockers of Philippine Coast Guard. He has this ways on winning against the blockers of Philippine Coast Guard. Kung hindi niya papalusutin, papatouch lang niya.
Alam mo, si Ramirez, si Velasquez, si Honra, ang dami niyang weapons. Aha, mintis yan. High up and out yan.
Pagpalo pa lang niya, alam agad ni Honra na lalabas yung bola.
Sinampal eh. Di ba? Hindi pitik eh. That's why you do that yung walling. Di ba?
Yes.
Grade school pa lang, walling. Another boring drill, but you need that.
I like that drill, sir.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay. It's, if you hate your teammates, that's okay. No, but it is a helpful drill. It develops your wrist,
Yes.
your timing. 10-8.
Veteran move by Edimar Kasim on that one, just dropping the ball in front of the players of San Sebastian.
And Tig all set to serve. So far, that's what he has done. That's in. That sailed down.
A clear inside the and Tig on that one sa harap lang nung linesman.
Natuwa siya nung sumalok pababa kasi mukhang out na eh. Ito ha.
Masyado rin malayo si Pamitan kasi yung pwesto niya.
Kita mo yung taga San Sebastian. Sigurado kayo, sir? Sigurado? Eto, ang bilis ng bawi ng baste. 11-9.
Lim has this high percentage kapag nabibigyan siya ng quick sa gitna.
And that's exactly right. He has doesn't get that many sets, but he's efficient. But that serve is wasted now. We're in that stretch of the game where some fatigue has set in and some of the serves are going astray here. Kuminsan, too much thinking, too much strategy. Hindi lang i-over. Sometimes you get to that part of the game, i-over mo lang.
Most of the time, kapag ini-enjoy mo yung laro, mas gumaganda yung movement mo.
Exactly.
Compared sa pag inisip mo yung pressure.
And that is exactly well done by Francisco as he foiled that attempt. We're tied at 11. San Sebastian thought the Coast Guard would go quietly into the afternoon. Big mistake. Push. Their main weapon, Kasim. And they're just blasting away here. They're in the lead.
Edemar Kasim making use of those blockers from San Sebastian. Pinabounce niya sa kamay ng blockers and no one from San Sebastian got that. Pamita, nag-effort siya but he was too late.
Lakas. And now it's a 2-point lead for the Dolphins. Medyo nanggigigilan sa Sebastian at this moment. Pondra will be given a chance to catch his breath. De Guzman runs in. Minsan, pag masyado mainit ang sinaing, mahirap isubo yung kanin. Gusto nila tapusin na yung game kasi, Abdul Wahab lost it.
Again with the service errors for Philippine Coast Guard.
You know, Ferrer will have the advantage as he grows older of not looking any younger and any older. He will be frozen in time. Diba, may mga taong ganun, ano, are just so blessed. They'll look young forever.
With that kind of face, no, si Ferrer,
Yeah,
you're right, sir.
Life is unfair, I tell you. And he will forever be with those choir boy looks.
That baby face.
Yep, that's even better said. In the meantime, here's the set. Out of reach.
De Guzman once again. Kanina, on the last set, ganun din yung ginawa niya. Pagpasok niya, nakascore agad siya and doing that one again.
Our score is 14-13. Oh! Francisco slapping that cleanly.
Very nice. Quick attack by Francisco. Tumagilid pa siya to get that.
Here's another Kasim coming in. This is number 13. This is Ibrahim Kasim.
Nakakalito talaga. Ang daming Kasim dito for the Philippine Coast Guard.
Magandang malaman kung magpipinsan ito. Ay, malamig yung mama.
Committing an error right away off the bench. Ibrahim Kasim.
Malas talaga, no? Kapapasok lang eh. Anyway, it's 15-14. Chance to tie it now. And Tig's hook is now in play. It's off two blockers. There's a net touch.
And Tig to touch the net. He was too forwarded on that jump. Ayun, hawak agad sa tape ng net.
Tabla po sa 15. They want to go here. And why not? And that'll make it 16-15 as the Coast Guard takes the technical timeout ahead at that mark.
Uy guys, may luwag yung gitna nila.
Sa'yo yung quick. Kunin mo yung quick pagdamas pa ikera. Quick, half jam lang sa quick. Half jam lang sa quick.
Lambot ng kamay mo pag nag-block pa.
Sukutin mo na agad.
Kasing lamot ng puso mo.
Kaya huwag natin hayaan yan, lumamang ha.
Service lang, service lang.
Back with us here at the Paco Arena, and this is our schedule for Tuesday.
4 pools here in the quarterfinals. Signal HC Spikers versus Ateneo in the first game, 10 a.m. Philippine Air Force against PLDT, 12 noon Perps against PGJC Navy at 3 p.m. and Santa Elena against IEM on the last game, 5 p.m. So, on normal game, magsistart tayo 1 p.m. but in the quarterfinal round, 10 a.m. ang start natin because 4 pools agad ang maglalaro.
Sasabayan natin yung Paco Catholic School na malapit dito, no? May klase sila. Mayroon tayong volleyball classes. Oh! Double block!
Pamitan and Lim were there to block that attack from Kasim.
Tandado, sarado. Tingnan mo, full swing, pero nice coverage on the top of the net. Oh, good counter.
And Tig running attack with that speed of ball. You cannot do anything about that anymore if you are on the floor on the other side.
Sa bilis ng action, kung minsan pag hinahabol mo sa slow-mo, tapos na yung action kagad eh. But this is a good fourth set. It's a battle here. Coast Guard tried to stretch it to 5 here since Sebastian trying to end it. Oh, that's a lot of power of that one.
Finally, nakuha dito ni Kasim Ismail yung service na gusto niya kasi kanina pa siya malakas sa service line.
And you had also dissected that he was probably tossing it a little too high and he was overcompensating on the swing. Taking his time. Ooh, kargado talaga. Labas.
Oh, after that, the service ace.
Akala ko bababa eh.
Hindi na napalakas lalo yung service dito ni Kasim.
So, ang score po natin ay 18-17. Lamang pa rin po ang ating mga Coast Guard. Well done. That ball looked like it was in slow motion in real time as that block was unable to sustain itself.
And Tig, one of the great contributors here for the Philippine Coast Guard.
Ibrahim Kasim is drawn out. Biglang nabuhayan ng Coast Guard. Huh? Oh, and they lead now by 2. And San Sebastian has to bring back the Stags into their den. They gotta talk.
Nung first set, saan ba kayo nanalo? Di ba sa service kanina? O yan, binigyan nyo ng magandang receive. O, yung quicker nila, palo na palo.
Ikaw, tatlo lang.
Ano ba nasa utak mo? Ha? Tatlo yung spiker mo, sarap, binigay mo sa likod.
Go! Enjoy!
Pag maganda ang laro mo sa first 2 sets, biglang sasabihin ng coach, balik niyo yung ginawa niyo ng first set. Kung minsan, mahirap maalala. No? Well, you can only try.
Saka,
Yeah.
ang dami na rin nangyari. Now, on the last part, San Sebastian, sinasabi na lang nila mag-enjoy. Kasi in the first 2 sets, nag-enjoy talaga sila. But now, right now, they are feeling the pressure against Philippine Coast Guard.
Ito yung magandang ginawa ng Coast Guard ng third set. Tinakpan nila yung net. Ngayon, if I were Ferrer, if he's on the floor, medyo puporsyento ka. Pupunta ako kay Honra muna. And Honra is back in the game. You need a few points to get in closer here. But he decides to go to Lana.
Quick ball.
Lim, rather. Sorry.
Quick one by Lim. And hindi na nahabol ng blockers na tong Philippine Coast Guard. Kailangan ng combination pace ang San Sebastian para makahabol sila in this set.
Kasim. Oh, lalim yung ding na yun. Long.
Oh! Attack error from Honra. Biglang nawala yung laro nito ni Honra, Sev. Kanina, ang ganda-ganda ng ginagalaw niya.
Sabi niya, can I have it back? Wala na eh. God. Let's see if they can recover here. Yes, they get something to go here.
A better one for Honra on that one.
But he's still thinking of that previous point, ha?
Pero in volleyball, you need to move on.
Yan yung mga heartbroken dyan. Yan ang maganda sa volleyball. Move on. Hindi ganun kadali yun. Madali lang sabihin niya. Follow, yes, off the head. Oh, the whistle. We are alive. And that's a pick up that time. And a counter. It is outside. Ooh, rugged action.
San Sebastian is still alive with that kind of effort, not giving up on that play. Ang ganda nung dig na yun ng San Sebastian.
They've had some magnificent defensive gems here so far. Huh? Those digs, Ferrer. It's an attack set. Chance now. And that is out of reach. And we are at 22-21.
The decision-making of Ferrer really is a good one here for San Sebastian. Hindi niya talaga binibigay kung saan ina-anticipate ng Philippine Coast Guard.
Tulong tayo tulong. One pass, one touch.
Test tayo, go. One step na lang. Isang tayo, bigyan pwede natin gawin. Two spikers lang. Kami na mag-block.
Wala naman siya, siyempre, tara.
Yan lang yung spikers. Receive lang.
Si Boy!
22-21. San Sebastian is now knocking at the door. Ferrer looked long, but he went for it. Adam Ferrer tracks it down. That is still alive. In play. In action, he ends up short.
Edimar Kasim is calculating on that one. Now San Sebastian will get that point. Makita natin yung patience ng San Sebastian is really working out for them.
We're tied at 22. Big climb back by San Sebastian. Buhay pa ito, pero mahirap. Hinok back.
Yeah.
Layo nun. And
That's
out.
Yes, out. Pinatulay pa sa net, but no touch from the side of San Sebastian.
And San Sebastian moves closer to the finish line. Coast Guard needs to talk.
Guys, pahinga lang.
Huwag natin madalin.
Guys,
Isa-isa.
tayo atake. No? Bagalan lang natin. Go lang, pahinga lang.
Kunin natin ng tulong siya muna sa receive. Bo. Huwag tayo magmadali.
It's a timeout more for a breather than for strategy, more than anything else.
Minsan kasi yung timeout, ano na lang yan, momentum breaker or maker for the teams.
But the drill you like in volleyball is that yung coach pinapalibol ay nahabol mo. That's so much fun. You miss that in this game. Yung dalawa kayong naghahabulan ng bola.
Two-man, that's a two-man drill.
Nakakamiss you. Oh! Solid! In the middle!
Lana single block to defend their net to get that match point.
Single coverage. And Ferrer, who has been there forever, serving for the match. Adam, playable, attack mode in progress. And that'll do it! San Sebastian with a 25-22 win in the set and in the game as well.
Getting this game in 4 sets on their last game, but first win for them. Not bad na pabaon dito ng San Sebastian to go on their specific collegiate leagues.
And that'll do it for this one. That's the count. 25-19, 18 in the second, and a reverse by the Coast Guard in the third, and the closeout by San Sebastian. We'll be back with our best player and wrapping this up nicely.
Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 3. Mic test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kay Cedric mo. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. Mic test 1. Congratulations to our San Sebastian on getting their first win here in their last game. Now I am with the best player of the game, Aldre Ferrer. Now Aldre, ano ang pakiramdam na nakuha nyo yung first game nyo dito sa last game nyo sa conference?
Siyempre, sobrang saya po kasi sabi ni Coach, sana na may panalo namin last game para di kami umuwing itlog na equals 0. Yun, masaya po. Preparation po namin to para sa NCAA po.
Okay, you had a good start first and second set, pero ano nangyari ng third set na kuha ng Coast Guard?
Napansin po ni Coach na gumagaan po yung serve namin kaya napapagaan nila yung quicker nila. Yun lang po.
Okay. Now, joining in this conference, would you say na magandang training ground ito for your team?
Opo, kasi malalakas po yung mga nakalaban namin. Experience na rin po para sa team.
Okay. Now, meron kang chance bumati and pasalamatan yung mga nanonood sa atin?
Binabati ko po yung family ko sa Marikina. Salamat sa panonood. Ingat kayo dyan. Pauwi na.
Thank you and congratulations once again. And now turning you over to Seb for the highlights of the game.
Thank you very much, Mosh, and our very young best player of the game, a freshman find from Maris in Marikina, dishing out excellent sets, and he was in control. He was at the helm of this particular game. They took the first two sets, 25-19, 25-18, and then some trouble in the third as the Coast Guard recovered, Mosh.
Now for San Sebastian, na-mention nga natin kanina in the first set, ang ganda nung nilaro nila. Pero yung Philippine Coast Guard, mas maraming atake, but the teamwork really did magic for San Sebastian. Now on the second set, mas nakita natin na nag-work itong San Sebastian. It is because mainly of Ferrer, dahil yung distributions niya ng sets niya on his attackers.
And he's so young, just a freshman, and San Sebastian has a interesting career ahead of him. San Sebastian took the second at 25-18. And the third, here is where the Coast Guard suddenly made up for lost ground.
Biglang nagbago yung laro ng Philippine Coast Guard. They gave energy and most especially their net defense, they activated on that one. Nabantayan na nila yung mga atake nitong San Sebastian. And ang laki naman din ang kinagulat ng San Sebastian kasi nababalik ng Philippine Coast Guard agad yung palo nila. Look at those numbers. 5 blocks for Philippine Coast Guard and none for San Sebastian. Now on the fourth set, ang ganda ng laban. Sev, palitan lang ng scores and errors. Pero nagkaroon ng moment na napatigil itong Philippine Coast Guard. May kasamang gigil. Kaya San Sebastian, they pull away and nakuha nila itong game.
And they were in control, especially in the crucial stretch towards the end. And the big win to end their particular run here in the Spikers turf.
In the game summary, look at the aces of San Sebastian. They got 12 and just 6 from the Philippine Coast Guard. Although mas marami itong errors ng San Sebastian, but really their teamwork and effort, yun yung nakapagpanalo sa kanila. And they are very happy to get a win here on their last game in the 2019 Open Conference.
And yes, you were talking about it much on Tuesday. We're going to have great action all day long here at the Paco Arena.
Definitely 4 games for you here in Paco Arena, which will start at 10 a.m. Signal against Ateneo agad ang first game natin. Now Philippine Air Force against PLDT at 12 noon. Perpetual Altas against PGJC Navy at 3 p.m. And the last game would be Santa Elena against IEM at 5 p.m.
Okay, thank you very much, Mosh. A pleasure to work with you for the first time. In just a short while, we will have an NCAA game. It's Arellano against Mapua in a very special place known as the Spikers Turf.